Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Farmers Travels with another 10-minute travel tip. But before we begin with the 10-minute travel tip of crossing borders in African countries, guys, please hit the Zapper code and please support me by scanning the Zapper. I have to still get used to this and help me keep this channel in the air. Also, due to the fact that I cannot do any imports on my importing business, this will be hopefully my next venture, and also I cannot monetize on YouTube. So please subscribe so that I can get to 1,000 subscribers, so that I can get my YouTube monetization going. Guys, the first thing that I need to tell you guys about crossing a border in any African country is there's one rule. If you haven't crossed that border yet, if you don't know the people at the border and it's your first time crossing a border into a new country, rule number one: never, ever think that you know how to do it. You will fall into a bureaucratic pit which you won't get out of. And the only way of getting out of that pit will be to pay a humongous bribe. And I will tell you guys later on what happened to us twice. Well, more than twice. But, anyways, guys, certain rules in Africa need to be obeyed when crossing a border. Right. Except for having your vehicle papers, the first thing that you need to get, and this is sometimes difficult to get a hold of, there's not much information. You have to phone around, email, and ask a lot of questions. So I'm giving this tip to you guys. Go and make a copy of your vehicle registration. If the vehicle is already registered in your own name and you don't have any payments or installments or levies on it, just make a copy of your original registration paper. All right, a copy of your address or a proof of residence, a copy of your ID. And if you still have the original invoice that you bought your vehicle with it, please add that as well. Then go to your nearest police station and have all of those documents stamped and signed by a police officer. The reason why I say police officer is that a normal commissioner of oath, they don't know who blah 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 van Staden is, and they will question the authenticity of the paperwork. But if it's signed and stamped by an official policeman with an official police stamp, no problems, no questions asked. If you have your vehicle is still payments that you need to pay on your vehicle, and the original paperwork is held by the banks will issue you a letter that states which countries you are allowed to travel to and the duration. If you are borrowing your dad or your mom or your oma or your uncle's or your wife's vehicle, let them issue a letter with their ID, your ID, countries that you visit, reason for traveling, and the duration for traveling. All on a letter with a proper letterhead, and also then include their proof of residence and a copy of their IDs, telephone numbers where they can reach those people. Guys, this is very important. You don't want to get stuck at a border when people are questioning your authenticity of your vehicle, or they say that you don't have the proper paperwork. It can cause you headaches. The second rule, which is the most important when you are getting to, except for having your paperwork and doing the Kingsley Hall Gate maneuver, guys, when you're at a border post, the second most important rule, and this I cannot stress enough. Please, if you get a border post and somebody approaches you to say that they will help you cross that border, stick to that person. First of all, negotiate your price with them to help you do the border crossing. Because if you have a cocky attitude and say, "Oh, I know how to do this on my own. I can do this thing on my own," you will fall once again into the bureaucratic pit, and you will end up in the end paying once again a huge price in bribes. All right. this second most important, guys, and very, very important, is once you cross an unknown border and there's runners that's willing to help you, use them, but negotiate your prices prior. Do your homework prior to entering that country. What are the border taxes? What are the third party insurance that you need to take out? Approximately what it will cost you. Because some of these runners and officials can hike the prices and you won't know the difference. All right. Make sure for everything that you pay, you get an invoice or a cash slip. But guys, it's very, very important. All right. Um, because should you get questioned later after leaving the border post, sometimes the police stop you and they ask you, where's this and this and this cash slip? It happened with me. All right. The guys asked me for the different invoices. There's a payment for carbon tax. There's a payment that I had to pay for a local community taxation and something else. And I had to keep all of those paperwork. And the police actually asked that. All right. Very, very important. Your runner will help you get through that bureaucratic maze because if you don't know where to go, you might slip up and in the end up not paying that. And once you get to a police checkpoint and they check that and you don't have it, you're going to pay a fine on the spot. All right. Third rule, always have US dollars in cash. I want to actually put that as on the top of the list as the most important. Have US dollars in cash when crossing a border. Right. The reason for that is you can get to a border, everything can go smooth, and then suddenly, somewhere, somebody decides he needs money to go and buy KFC, and you will be ending up paying him. All right, it's not in your hands. Don't get angry. Don't throw your toys out of the cot, and don't start pulling rank on them. They are the people or the one that opens the gate. And if you want them to open the gate for you to get into their country, you need to play by their rules. I do not condone bribery. I hate it to the within the fiber of my being. I hate it. But unfortunately, if you slip up, you end up paying. Right? Very, very important. Right. So you've got your paperwork in order. You've got your runner, and you've now arrived at the border post. It's 1 hour prior to the border close. Don't do that. Guys, it happened to us in Malawi. We ended up arriving about an hour prior to the border closing. And on the Mozambique side, it was whoop, whoop, stamp, stamp, dot, goodbye, and we were out. And when we arrived on the Malawian side, these guys were getting agitated because we were late. We still needed to take out insurance. We needed to pay the taxes. And I had a runner. And in the end, he said, we have a problem. And the problem, and we need to fix this problem. Now, when you hear these words, we have a problem and we need to fix this problem, or we need to fix a problem. The word fix is the most of the time a term for you're going to pay a bribe. All right. In the end, I had to fix the problem. Right. But I also fixed him. And he wanted something like, I think it was 2,000 Rand back then. All right. I didn't have any, or I didn't want to spend my US dollars, so I went and drew Malawian kwacha. In the end, ripping him off because Malawian kwacha is quite a thick amount pack, and I rolled it into a roll, and it looked like it was a full amount. In the meantime, it was just less than half the amount that he wanted. Um, get smart, guys. Certain borders you are going to get trouble. Some borders for nothing. Sometimes they just want a bribe, but do play along. All right. If they keep you stuck, pull. What I do is I say, use the Kingsley Hallgate maneuver, and that is back your kettle out, pull up a chair, and say to them, "Well, I have time to wait." Although you do not have the time to wait, you need to show them that you're not going to let them shunt you around. And that's usually the time that they will start negotiating with you around getting things done or getting a fix on the problem. Guys, these are a few tips that I can give you on crossing borders in Africa. Remember not to lose your temper. That is the ultimate thing that's going to cost you, be the most expensive thing that you're going to pay in money. Guys, thank you for listening to the 10-minute travel tip. Good luck to everybody out there during this COVID-19 period. Please, guys, help me support my channel by supporting my channel, and please zap the zapper. Also, please subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to say good night. And when the borders open, I do hope that we will see each other on the road, and I'm looking forward to sitting down in a local restaurant with all of you, having a nice cup of coffee. Cheers.